On September 11, 2012, anti-US protests broke out across the Middle East and North Africa over an amateur film that protesters say denigrated Islam by, among other things, depicting the Prophet Muhammad.
Look at the numbers of these protests. Still relatively small. We're talking a few thousand people in countries with populations of dozens of millions. Compare those protests to the size of the protests during the Arab Spring uprisings. These are very tiny protests, and yet they get international, global media coverage, and they appear to be more important than they actually are.
Well, the religion has been politicized, and the reason for that, of course, is that during the Cold War, the United States was backing most of these groups to fight communism all over the world, especially in the Muslim world. And Wahhabi preachers were sent with American approval by Saudi Arabia to create what we now know as political Islam. They did that, and now they pay the price for it. You know, they created this monster.
So what's the way forward? Are we going to see more of these protests?
The way forward is to create a way of life in not just the Muslim world, but the world at large, in which people have some stake in the world in which they live. At the moment, you know, increasingly, democracy is being hollowed out in the Western world, leave alone anywhere else. So people, you know, to fill the vacuum, some move towards nationalism, as in China. Some move towards religion in the Arab world. I mean, the best model for me, it's not sort of, you know, a utopian model, but an actually working model is what is going on in South America today, where you have governments, reformist governments, which push through social reforms, which involve and engage the people in their everyday activities, and that has a huge impact. Nothing like this is happening in the world of Islam today. And so religion becomes a substitute for politics, and then moderate religion, extremist religion fight it out.
Extremists are changing now, because 20 years ago it would have been the Islamists who would have gone to the streets. Now it's the Salafi. And the problem for the Islamists, the Muslim Brothers, is they have now to take position. Either they side with the Salafi or they clash with the Salafi. Of course, they are trying to avoid making choice. It's clear in Tunisia. They are divided. You know, the Nahda, some people of the Nahda don't want to clash with the Salafis, and others think that it's time now to send the police and the army. In Libya, something in Egypt. You know, the Muslim Brother government already sent the army against the jihadis. No Salafi, by the way, is demonstrating in Cairo against the American embassy, because the Salafis in Egypt are also part of the electoral process, which is a big difference with Tunisia.